Hey Blake, this is Mrs. Skoglins. Just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on your summer assignment. So we're mostly going to talk about chapter 1 since that was the question that you starred, but I'll kind of reference some other parts of your assignment as we're going through the video as well. So to start off, the first thing that I always look for in a body paragraph, which is what this structure is a topic sentence, and ideally we want that to really answer the question that was provided in a concise way that sort of previews what's coming in the paragraph. I think, Blake, you definitely do answer the question. So, like, you tell me the difference is the ways of execution. Left side does this, right side does this. But notice it took you like several sentences to get here. I think in some of your other paragraphs, they were a little more concise or succinct. But I would just encourage you to make sure to get that topic sentence out there in one sentence, answer the question, and then you can get to more of the details later. But I did appreciate that you did answer the question, so good job there. The next thing I look for is, and I forgot to mark this, but is a concluding sentence. We want that to be actually at the end of the paragraph, but it's also going to tie back to the question to sort of like signal to the reader that the paragraph is ending. In most of your paragraphs, I couldn't pick out like a distinct concluding sentence. So that would be a good opportunity for revision, Blake, to go back and add even just like a summary of kind of what the paragraph was about. And that way your reader, knows that it's kind of like the wrap up. All right, next I looked at evidence and I noticed, Blake, that, oh, I'm sorry, I just hit the wrong thing, sorry. I noticed that you are doing a good job like integrating the evidence you have. So you say like a quote says blah, 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 blah. However, what I was going to mark is that you don't have down here a second piece of evidence in your paragraphs. And at the sophomore level, we do want you to have at least 2 pieces of evidence per paragraph just to really develop the answer to the question and your thoughts. So I did have to mark you down a little bit for that. I also had to mark you down on commentary for that because commentary is analysis of the evidence. So if you only have 1 piece of evidence, you also don't have as much commentary as you should have. So again, that would be a good thing to go back and revise, is getting some more pieces of evidence in your paragraphs. Next I looked at commentary, and I kind of mentioned obviously you are missing some, but also I would encourage you, Blake, with the commentary you do have, to try to do a little bit more than just summarize. So for example, this quote is talking about like what each hemisphere does, and then you kind of just say this shows they control different sectors, which, we kind of already got that from the quote. So I would encourage you to maybe in your commentary talk about the importance of the quote, or maybe give an additional example, to develop that quote. So just do a little bit more there. All right. Lastly, I looked at conventions and citations. So citations, you're so close, Blake, but you do just need to add the page number. So pink 87 or whatever. So just make sure to go back and add that. And then on your conventions, I think you did fine with things like punctuation and capitalization, but I do want you to watch out for these personal pronouns, especially like me and you. It just sounds a little bit too informal for what we're doing. So even if you just rephrase this to, this is cold cut proof, and just leave out the to me, that really elevates your writing and the word choice, okay? All right, lastly, I looked at your art-directed activities. Those I thought looked really good, and I especially wanted to talk about your design question because it just cracked me up to read about your iPhone. And I'm one of those people who I have held on to an older version of the iPhone so that I can keep my home button. So I'm totally with you, and I hope that you will just like keep writing Apple letters and maybe they'll listen. I don't know. But anyway, I was just wanted to talk about that one because I totally agree and just wanted to give you a little feedback.